going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Been a long while. Kind of disappeared. Deleted a whole bunch of stuff. First, to address that, I felt really ashamed at how I had backslid and fell back into a relationship that was not of God and was not righteous at all. And basically one of them things where I didn't feel like I was practicing what I was preaching. So I took them off. Well, fast forward several months. I go back to that girl. I didn't move back in with her, but I go back to that girl. I step up in an even bigger way afterwards because her daughter had a mental episode and had to be sent to a hospital, and did all this stuff in terms of like the entire time stepped up for not only her kids but the girl herself. Started putting me as stepdad on like all the paperwork and all this bull stuff, you know. So start talking about marriage during that whole thing. And we had been having some rocky stuff in our relationship, so I figured with all of that, you know, I figured it would like bring us closer together. And obviously it did not. After she gets out of the hospital, me and her are talking, and you know, she feels like we're only somewhat better than what we were before, and I thought that we were stronger than we had been before. And then shortly after that, she started, there was a couple times where she had accused me of cheating. And I thought I had made it pretty obvious, you know. No, I'm not. Hell, I didn't even have Facebook and stuff like that. Notice her doing weird stuff with her phone again, all this good stuff. And then I started to feel it in my spirit, you know, that my energy is being shared with somebody else. I could just tell. And 2 weeks ago I left North Alabama. Came down here to get away and come visit my mom for a little while. And just kind of figure stuff out. Because she started ignoring my existence all of a sudden. And I could tell too, like, because I genuinely loved her and whatnot. Anytime that she would be, even though there was like hours of distance, anytime that she was messing around doing stuff with that guy, I could feel it in the pit of my spirit every time, and it was just disgusting. And I got confirmation about it today. She actually told me. And it's weird too, because it's crazy how a woman can tell you that you are like the most genuine and honest person and the best thing that they had for them, and then turn around and try to tell you that you're a liar and that you cheated on them. It's projecting. It's like you just confirmed to me that you slept with your ex. You only said one time, but we're not going to get into how many times, because it was more than once, because my energy was being shared. I felt it. We're not playing this game. And everything else, like, I felt it. And then you're going to try to convince me that I'm the one, like, and is really trying to convince herself. And she told me that, her daughter had another episode and stuff like that since I've been gone. I didn't address it. I know why. It's because you're being crazy. And she's watching her mother be a whore. Sorry to say it like that, but it's literally true. And, so, this isn't meant to be a sob story or nothing like that, but a lot of stuff did come out today. Got a lot of confirmation about a lot of stuff today. And, I feel like God's been angry with me for a minute for taking those videos down and backsliding the way I did. But the thing about me is, you see, I was born with basically nothing. I grew up in a house that was built in the late 1880s. I think it was built in 1886, something like that. My grandfather was like the one who eventually ended up buying the house, and he made like several additions. He added an actual bathroom to it because it didn't have a bathroom. It had an outhouse when they first moved up there, and because it was a really old farmhouse then, it was like it was right at 100 years old when they moved in it. It was kind of decrepit. And he added like a top floor to it, and added a second story to it. And boy, I tell you, them stairs were like 45 degrees. You had to be careful coming down them for sure. Going up them wasn't so bad, but coming down them, if you wasn't like holding on to the rail or checking your steps, the steps were so close together too, because it's an old farmhouse. He had to make it work, and to be able to add a couple more bedrooms upstairs and whatnot. So it's kind of one of them where, and we had kerosene heaters and all this good stuff. So pride has never been a problem for me. Most people are entirely too prideful to admit that they are wrong. And this is one major problem I've had with this girl the entire time, is that she's never been able to admit when she's wrong. I've known that she was wrong, and she just could not admit it. I knew that she was doing stuff and just could not admit it. But that's neither here nor there at this point. If anything, yep, he's back there. And if anything, another reason why I'm going ahead and just restarting all of this and getting back into this. I'm not trying to be one of these Christian influencers or nothing like that. No, I wanna teach people about a relationship, a real relationship that one can have with the Holy Spirit and that one can have with God. A real relationship. And in a way that's truly profound. And I do believe that I can help people with that. And I do believe that I was beginning to start that. And yeah. So, if anything, God has definitely reduced me of that 99%. And the 1% that I actually still have is my truck. And that's my old truck, but my newer truck. That's the one thing I still have out of everything. So that's the 1%. And my dog. you know, I barely have my health. I've been going through some health problems. If you can't tell, part of my face is swollen, and I've had some other health problems too. Um, but I'm starting to bounce back from a lot of that, so things are getting better. Um, yeah, and I feel like I owe not only you guys, because there was a lot of you um, who saw all that stuff, and it was helping a lot of you, and I feel like I robbed you of that by taking it down and not proceeding further. And I do want to say that I'm sorry. I won't do that again. You won't see that again. And I promise you that. Not only do I promise you that, but I promise him that too. Because the sacrifice that he gave and the true torment that that man went through. I mean, if y'all, most people just think, oh, he was crucified. It wasn't just that. You really want to see what it was like, and they only really captured like 1/5 of it, go watch the Passion of the Christ. Not just the crucifixion scenes. No, watch the torture scenes too. Yeah, watch all that. Watch all that. And don't take your eyes from the screen. Watch it. Because that's what that man endured for all of you and for me. Even though I know I don't deserve it. I am a wicked sinner, for sure. So, I owe all of you an apology for taking all of that stuff down. I owe myself an apology because I'm better than that. And I knew better. But the girl, okay, the girl had been given a bad hand in life. She really had. She'd been raped as a young girl. Never really knew true love. Messed around with drugs. Always just being wild and free. And her kids didn't really have a dad. You know, he was a drug addict running around. And I stepped up. Not only for her, but the children. You know, I love them. And I wanted to be there. You know, totally selflessly. I knew that they needed a dad, really. And she needed somebody who was going to be there to be a rock and give her some structure. And that's all I just wanted to do. But, you know, part of me can't help but feel like I was a test for her, you know. In my past, I hadn't been the most faithful person. And I come from a broken home, a broken family. My parents got divorced when I was 10. Been through quite a bit of traumatic abuse from my own family in terms of beatings and all this good stuff whenever I was young, after the divorce. My father passed away whenever I was 17, but he had kidney failure. And he had it long before then. His first kidney transplant was in 99, like 1999. Basically the day that my sister was born. And then it failed in like 2008, something like that, 2009. And by 2012 he was gone. You know. And then my first relationship with my children's mother, I didn't do it right. I didn't get it right at all. I loved her, but I wasn't completely faithful like I should have been. And I paid for it for years, dearly. But, you know, and part of this is not only like um, payback for me, but also a test for her. Because at this point, over the past few years, I've realized like just how stupid I was in my earlier 20s. I'm 29 now. I'm about to be 30 in a month. Um, I realized, like, in my later 20s, how stupid I was in my earlier 20s and just how dumb I was. But it was already too late at that point. So I just had to, I had to pick the pieces up where they were and just make the best of it. But, and I'm insanely tired right now because I'm finding it hard to sleep because of finding out today that, yeah, this girl was still sleeping with her ex. And she was trying to convince me that it wasn't while we were dating, but I know it was while we were dating. I can feel it in my spirit. I knew it. And when your energy is being shared with somebody else. Those of you who have been cheated on, and it's going to be ironic because this is probably exactly how my children's mother felt. But whenever your spirit is being shared with somebody else and you genuinely love them and you're actually genuinely being faithful to them, and God knows that and God sees it, and He'll give you insights, and eventually the chickens are going to come home to roost. So, yeah, like you do it, you got to feel what it's like to be on the other foot too. But at the same rate, I had already realized this years before now. So I really don't feel like it was like payback for me in that sense. I really feel like it was a chance for her to have a halfway decent relationship because, like I said, she had been given a bad hand. And her children's father was not good. But then she goes back and she sleeps with her ex. It just, like, the one that she dated right before me, like, it just doesn't make any sense. But whatever. That is life. And, there's another reason, too, why a lot of good men are finding it hard to date and finding it hard to trust women at all. Because, for weeks, basically, whenever we had split, I let her know that I knew something was up. I let her know that I knew that she was messing around. I could feel it in my spirit. I could tell by the way she was acting, the way she was basically accusing me of it. I knew that she was messing around. And then whenever she ghosts me for like weeks on end, yeah, it's pretty obvious. And she wants to, and she makes the claim that having sex and making love are not the same. Whenever she was being with me every time, it was just making love. But whenever she slept with that guy, it was just, come on, that is the devil. That is Satan himself. And ladies, y'all, and men too, no one, if y'all are doing that, you are wicked. You are evil, for real. You are a lie, and you are a cheat. And it's funny, any person that tells you that even if you're in a relationship, that going through their phone is like crossing a line, run for the hills. Run for the hills. If you're going to marry that person, you have every right to go through their phone at any time. It doesn't matter. And they have every right to go through your phone at any time. It doesn't matter. You shouldn't be hiding them. Period. End of discussion. These things right here, they break relationships more than they make them. And those with nothing to hide truly won't act like they have something to hide whenever you ask them to show you. So, yeah. So that's what's happened. That's where I've been. And that's why I took on the videos too, because I went back to a whole bunch of stuff. Didn't feel like I was really living the life. Didn't feel like I was one to really speak or talk about it. But that be that as it may, I feel like God is actually pressing on me right now to do this and talk about it and to get back into it and to try to pick up where I left off. So my lips are chapped right now. I need to find some lipstick. But yeah. If there's a if there would be a Bible verse or something like that I could lead you to right at this very second. I actually want you to just go look at the Ten Commandments. Just go look at them. Because I've broken every damn one of them before. Excuse my language. I've broken every one of them before. I know you probably have too. Or at least a few of them. So instead of an actual Bible verse for the beginning of, or re-beginning, the new beginning of me getting back on here and doing this, it's not going to be an actual Bible verse, but just go look at the Ten Commandments. Look at them, study them, and try to make an effort to get back to living by them. And, yeah. I will, y'all see me again here soon. God bless each and every one of you on the other side of the screen. Your boy here is really struggling, but I'm going to make it. I'm going to be alright. We going to be alright. We going to be alright. And he always shines a light, even whenever you can be like, it's crazy because you can be chosen literally and me doing everything to signal to God to, like, he shouldn't even waste his time. And he's just so patient. And he's so consistent that you can literally be cursing him in his face and he's revealing truth to you that literally only a friend or only a real father would. And he's setting stuff up for you that a lot of you can't see. A lot of it you can't see. And obviously I'm speaking about myself right here. But the grace is powerful. And you reap what you sow. Remember that. You reap what you sow. And be careful who you mess around. I hadn't always said the best stuff. And I'm still working on myself in a lot of ways. A lot of people want to get on here, talk about God, and not acknowledge their sinful ways. And we have to not do that. We have to be able to acknowledge our sinful ways. And yeah. But go and read the Ten Commandments. There's two of them that are the most important to me. The first one for the longest time was the very first one. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Period. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Because you're not just cheating on them, you're cheating yourself. Good night, everybody. Take care. God bless each and every one of you on the other side of that screen. And I'll see y'all soon.